Hello. Well, today, Amy and I are going to talk about our favorite series of games called Headbands or Headbands.
And Headbanz Blast Off.
Yes, there's a junior version, there's a regular version. There's actually also an adult version.
Oh.
Yes, I mean, not an adult version, one that has words and harder concepts for older kids. And, if you're having game night with bunch of your friends. For anyone who is unfamiliar, the way Headbands works is you put on your little headband without looking. You put on the card. There we go. And now you have to guess what you are by asking a series of questions. What I love about this game for speech is that it really works on deductive reasoning, right? Thinking about a big idea and then narrowing it down. And it also tells me a lot about kids and how their vocabulary is organized and how their word retrieval is. And, can they keep track of the questions they've asked? So what we do is we often will tell our kids to start with a big question, like, am I alive? Right? Am I alive? No, I am not alive. So my next questions might be, am I something you eat? Or am I something you wear? Something in a big category. And then that's sort of how we narrow it down. I can actually see it because of the video. So I'm just going to take that off. I am the moon is often a hard one.
That is a tough one.
For our kids. So that's the regular headbands. And sometimes we use this even as like an evaluation task because a lot of times it's a simple game, but tells me a lot about kids' vocabulary and their executive functioning and just how their semantic networks are organized. Now,
Headbanz Blast Off brings an element of a timer. So you put your card in the same way. I think I've got it. But then you turn the timer, and if I don't guess in time, the card will blast off from my headband and I will lose the round. So what do I like about this particular version? It adds an element of stress, but in a playful way. I'm always looking for finding a way to introduce a little bit of stress into a session at just the right amount. And doing it through play is usually finding the just right amount of stress.
So you did not guess it.
I did not guess it. It also is good for teaching kids how to manage their anxiety and their frustration. How are they going to prepare themselves to ask these questions? Is it going to be taking a deep breath? Is it going to be, counting to 5? How are they going to manage their anxiety about this timer? I like it because it builds resilience. It builds listening and communicating effectively types of skills where they really have to listen. They have to think about their question, as Jen said, and listen to the answer and then think about their next question. Headbanz Blast Off is technically a team game, although you can totally play it one-on-one, but if it's a team game, you're teaching teamwork and cooperation. It's about seeking and giving support, which is a fantastic skill to be able to practice. It teaches problem-solving skills. It teaches turn-taking. It teaches asking for help. Some kids are very, very quick to ask for help. Like, am I allowed? Give me a hint. Give me a hint. And some kids can tolerate, like, I'll say, do you want a hint? And they're like, no. They're very adamant about figuring it out themselves. So I like it for that reason. And it's about taking risks. It's about being able to take a guess at a question and listen to the answer and then risk another question. So
be uncomfortable.
Be uncomfortable
with not knowing is often tricky for our kids. I would probably not use the blast off version in speech and language therapy because sometimes the added time pressure will make kids freeze a little bit, but I could definitely see how it would be fun in play therapy.
Yes.
I mean, I might like to play it.
It's super fun.
And then for our littlest guys, the Headbanz Junior, I really like. And it works a lot on, again, deductive reasoning, but also sort of some inferencing skills and the ability to look at a reference. So the kids are given, if you could see, a board like this that has all the animals, and they're kind of grouped into categories: farm, jungle, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's only two types of animals, either ones with feathers or ones with fur. So the kids are also given a board that looks like this, and there are cards that go on each part of these, and they can flip over the cards. And it helps organize their thinking. So they start with the big idea, which is, does it have feathers? You say no. Great. It has fur. We flip over the yes. And then you can go through each sort of habitat, and then you can also, oops, sorry. Also look at the board to see if you could figure out who it is. I will sometimes even give them the questions. If they can't read, we do it through pictures. You know, I mean, they're rough pictures, but the kids can kind of get the idea of going down the hierarchy. And for our younger kids, especially those with language delays, it's so fun because they can do it. And they feel really successful. And most kids love animals. So big fans of Headbanz.
Yes.
And you can get any of them pretty much at any toy store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Headbanz Blast Off says 6 and up. I don't know what your ages are.
5+ for junior. I think that might, yeah. We have 4-year-olds who play it.
6 and up for Blast Off feels a little ambitious for a 6-year-old.
It might be ambitious for me.
It might be okay, but the kids that tend to really like this game and get into it tend to be like 9, 10, 11,
Yeah.
a little bit older kids that are up for a challenge of a timer.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our Why We Love Headbanz. And Headbanz. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.